So one thing that I just thought of is that I'm getting too ahead on putting the boxes right now, so I'll explain the boxes later on. So I'll just take them off for now, and I'll continue putting out the weekly lines. So we're in the weekly candle, so there are weeklies, and weekly lines are blue. I'm gonna move these lines forward. That way you guys can actually see them. Also, another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take away the indicators right now. That way we can just focus on these lines that what I'm actually doing, not the background or nothing. What did I do? Right. So I'm gonna stop. Hold up. Alright, guys. So then after that, I'm gonna go to the weeklies. Actually, so I can go all the way down here because I also need to explain how I read this or whatnot. But for now, I'm gonna focus on this because I want to focus on lines. What these lines that you guys end up seeing over and over and all across. And then daily. I know it looks like a mess, but just hold on, pay attention. Daily is gonna be orange. And I'll stop right here in the 12-hour candle. 12-hour candle is yellow. Mm. I hate when this shit happens here. Alright, so like I said, the higher the candles, the stronger those lines or those floors are. So once I have these, now what I end up doing is I'll square up or box up the areas that I know are going to be hard to get inside of or outside of. So I'll start with the monthly. So since I stopped right here, I can't really continue going on down one night. So we have, since this is a whole new area right here, and by that I mean this area has already been touched before, these prices right here. So therefore when they came up, you can know where we're going to be the hard areas to pass or whatnot because of these prices here. That's how people go based off on read these hard key prices and whatnot that the market gonna have a hard time passing. Over here in this new territory, we don't. Right here, as the market was going up in January, right here in April, the market was saying, hey, is this the top? Could this be the peak for the NASDAQ and the SPX? Could we start going on a whatever recession, whatever word that puts fear in you? And I was okay, but this month right here, there was earnings coming up at the same time when the Fed, I think, was talking. So even though some data one night came out bad, the next day after, meaning right here, as we were getting these days of bad news, and we were getting to these key price of every break, it's alarming. We had either earnings or whatnot coming up. So as soon as the market started doing this, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna lie to us. They're panicking us, and this is gonna be the new foundation. Look how thick it is. Look how hard it is. You got the bottom of the foundation, and you got the resistance of the foundation, creating this area a tight area. And then now they can build their house on top of this, so it can fly off. Alright, so my bad. Still, hopefully this shit's still recording. It says it's recording, so alright. Alright, cool, yeah. My bad, guys. So, as I'm seeing this and seeing what data's coming out, or who's talking, whether it be the Fed or we have earnings coming out, it let me indicate that if, especially in what boxes they are, then that also depends a lot what boxes they're on, what time, and what price of the box they're at. For example, I can do a box right here between these monthlies because I know that this area to pass is going to be a hard area. If you had a hard time passing this monthly, failed, came into an area after it broke that, tested it, especially between this gap, create support right where the monthly is right here, and then shouting up. So therefore, when it comes back down again, I know it's gonna be a hard area to pass. So anyways, so take this off. So I see where they're at. What for example, there's a day right here, daily candle, and that was a box right here. Just imagine there's a box right there. And I know on this day we end up closing right here by the weekly, and I know the next 2 days we have data at 5:30, let's say, and the next day we have data at 7, and it keeps coming out good. And then finally we have maybe earnings, maybe the Fed, or maybe just some light data on Tuesday, or important data on Tuesday about 5:30. Gives it that enough strength to break through it. And on Wednesday, let's say on Wednesday we could have had the Fed talking, we could have had some important data, whether it be CPI, just important data that affects the economy, our economy. And good news shoots up through that, and then from there you just have Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday you close the month here, or whatever it was, weekly, whatever it was, and you continue, with the ordinary. So just everything, if you can read, the good thing about the market is the market gives you the date and the hour that the data is going to be released. So therefore at what point the market is going to start anticipating that data and start moving on up, especially if the word around the block is that everybody thinks it's going to be this, everybody thinks it's going to be that, especially when everybody's agreeing on that. That the night before the market is going to start not flying, but going on up as we get closer to that earning data being released. Especially the data is being released at anywhere from 5:30, 5 to 5:30, maybe 6. That's what you want, because you get to see how the bots react to the data. Yesterday was a good example. Today was a good example. I was playing that later, but so these boxes with these lines and where they're at and what data is coming out tomorrow, that helps. If I didn't have access to what time the data is gonna be released, I wouldn't know what time these candles should be breaking it up, it should be closing, and should this, should that. If I didn't have that time and date, if I just even had the date, oh hey, it's gonna be data being released Wednesday, but if I don't know what time, that messes up, because all these candles, it's time. With these candles, time's important. It's not just where the candles, like when you guys see this in the phone, or you guys are just used to watching that line. And then for people that start trading or analyzing the market, they all get taught the same. So you get the same point of view, you get to see the market the same way everybody does. You have the same point of view. And that's what I learned from starting into this. I learned this is my way. I got into a group, but that was bullshit. Same thing as always, you get into a group, hey, go to the website, our website. These big guys have their own videos explaining how they see the market, and they explain to you what a trend line is and how to use the trend line and what indicator they use and whatnot, this and that. But it's all mainly the same shit. Trend lines, support, resistance, price, candle, and what do they call it? Price and candle formation, meaning these candles form a pattern, and therefore depending where they are and this and that, it tells you what. Anyway, shit like that. But mostly everybody's gonna repeat the same to you. Price. Anyways, so I'm gonna take these off. Okay, yeah. So once I have my lines, I then box the important areas that are gonna be hard to break. But then to also have a better understanding what's going on in between these boxes, because we're in the monthly. It's really important to see where the 4 hour, 3 hour, all these candles are, and where they close pretty much. Because once you go to the lower time frames, the 1 hour candle 15s, it really depends. That helps you um, understand where the data is gonna hit and how high or low the data is gonna hit, if it ends up being good or bad, and what time it is too. Especially with the boxes, it lets me know, hey, if we have good news and we break this, there's a well, this one's close here, so I can't say. But just say this weekly right here. This weekly is gonna be a hard area to pass. So I would box this monthly because I'm in the monthly right now. Put it purple, and I'll do it purple. Just for it could be any color, but just purple. Then when I go to the weekly, so for example here, let's say we have bad news these 3. Well, that was the week that I told you guys that the market was saying that was a peak of it. We're going down, whatnot. But and we break important support area. This was your important. You haven't then. You would then have another box right here, because this is like a strong support resistance, just based off having these 3 here and how they end up. So you stretch it out, knowing that when it goes up, it's gonna have a hard time passing, especially here, and this areas here. Well, that's where they close. So you would only have pretty much this one right here and this one right here that would really tell you, hey, as you're coming up, these areas here are gonna be hard to pass, especially if these in between these 2 right here. And as we get to this monthly area right here. So the fact that you're seeing then the next week pop up inside this box, that's when you know that, oh shit, okay, we're most likely gonna continue going up and shooting on up, especially knowing what data comes out, this and that. And then especially when we get right here, which is this weekly zone, that's a whole buying, to me is whole buying, getting inside these boxes. Especially with the economy, you gotta follow. We're very, our ego, we're Americans, we're doing good, we're doing great, look at us, look how strong our economy is going. Think about Biden, think about it's election month, it's election year, so of course you want to have, it's like anything else. It's like when it's when you're at work and the big dogs come in, what do? Hey, make sure everything's looking good. Hey, make sure da 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 da. Right? Because now people are gonna be paying attention to you. People are gonna start watching how it looks. Hey, yeah, this is neat. So, as it's voting time, that year, that whole year that you guys, that this whole year that we had is like, okay, this is my time to shine. Let me make everything good. Let me talk about, let me do my best to make myself look good or whatnot. That's how we are. Like, you gotta think about that too. We are what is holding the whole world together. Our dollar. We're the ones that's in control of the money right now. Really. Okay, guys. So on top of that, and so it's weird. My brain just starts clicking and whatnot. So you have this breakout, and again, this month it was gonna be a hard area to pass. I said, and it all depends what data came out that week. For example, I can go right now on ChatGPT and ask what economic data came out on Wednesday, May 15, that was 2024. Actually, I can do the 14, what happened in 14 and 15 data wise, and then most likely gonna be something either the Fed or earnings, or just some big data, like something that the inflation report, just something big. And so you can see where it's at right now. You can see, hey, this weekly area was a key area that I hadn't passed, and we're right here again. Plus we have this data coming out, and so. So So you put all those things together, and you go to your forward candle, and you see we'll get to that point. That was telling me, especially along with the weekly line right there, along with whatever data was coming out that day, it was very, very important, and the market was waiting for it. Look how neutral it was compared to all this, especially being inside this box. That's why I would be like, yo, we're about to blow up because this data is so and so, and we're inside of a box, and it's a Friday or it's a so and so whatnot. See, Wednesday, Thursday, we end up shooting over Friday. So it's all. That's what I say. If my brain can see how this is gonna end and where it's gonna go, then this is manipulated. This market is manipulated not because I can understand it, just based on watching videos after traders, experts, um, watching videos about economics, watching videos about bankers, watching how the bank works. They're all tied up together. This market ain't running free. This market ain't running free. This market is controlled. So, anyways, let me go back to this. All right, and then also, so we close. So this month, and also what I would do here, since we close this month here, and this one here, and after that we had this fall, I would then do this. I would do another box from here to here, because I know that once it comes up, and if it does, along with the data coming up day by day, whatever, when I get to this price, I know it's important. I know that we're about to shoot on big, and then especially, it was all making sense how they were scaring us right here. They were scaring us how, hey, is this the peak of the market, so and so, and then boom, boom, boom. And that's what I was telling the homie. Look what they're doing. They're most likely. And the thing was that I tend to analyze and think of this shit to myself. And it's like I'll just get too lazy to go and tell you guys, because to me, it's like, even if I say it, or if I give the idea out, they're probably gonna think it's whatever or whatnot, or it's just okay, cool, I just keep it to myself. And then it happens, like, I should have made a video about it, that way people don't think I'm bullshitting. So that's why I'm having a habit now of making these videos every day. I just tend to get too lazy sometimes to not upload the videos, like yesterday I think it was. So yeah, so this will be blue, it's a weekly. The inside's gonna be red. And then after that, let's just take it out that way in case it came down into this box. So now when it comes inside these boxes, it's like you dissect it in a way. You dissect the market. It's not just one whole big thing. As it comes down, it gets stuck into these certain price ranges, especially with the help of these weekly lines, daily lines, 4-hour lines. I could then break it more down when it comes to the data being released at what time, because of the monthly, weekly, all these lines that I have written up, or you start then seeing how in the future they react to those prices, even though they're not supposed to. That's how the market works. But since you gotta think about back in the days, you didn't have computers. You had people on the floor screaming, watching, and having computers, but these computers were just throwing out digits and whatnot. They were throwing digits and all these other things, and they would just stare at these big screens like you see in the movies. They didn't have all these indicators and trading view and whatnot, so you can't really have a sense of where everybody was watching on these prices. Nowadays, you have from experts to the regular Joes like us that have this market, and if we know that this monthly area is a hard area to pass because of how the candles, and on top of that, not just that, how we get taught, like I said, where by they I mean the bankers, the Fed, the government, they watch us. Why? Big Brother's always watching us. So they know, they see how we're getting taught to trade. They see how we go to these YouTubers and these whatnot, and they tell us, look for the resistance and the support and the indicator, this, and they laugh about it. So where I'm going with this is, damn, I forgot my bad, I got like but yeah, but these boxes, they ended up helping me out. Yeah, so yeah, I understand. So before we didn't have this, we would just, they would just be the big guys in the big buildings. Now that we all see this, it's like the market and the Fed, they know which prices we're going in. They know which prices you're putting your stop loss, your entries, because they have computers that tell us all this. And on top of that, it's just they visually can see it, and they probably have AIs or softwares that can tell you, hey, a bunch of people put stop losses in this price right here or whatnot. And the computers and the bots do their own thing, whatever, liquidate these people, go back in, shoot up, whatnot. So anyways, that's why all these boxes and lines help me. On top of that, when I say boxes, when you have candles like this where they shoot up, they create a little resistance, right? The first one. The next one starts, shoots up, but it stops in the same resistance. So now you have a strong indicator that's a strong resistance right here, especially because it's on a weekly. The higher the candle, the stronger that floor is gonna be, quote unquote. So, and then as it comes down, and then it's now telling you where the support is gonna be at. It's right here. So you have your two candles telling you your resistance, and your one candle telling you your support. You box it up because you know that depending on what time it is or day it is, that hey, we broke, but it's a Wednesday and we broke this important. Not that we broke it, because we're barely creating the support right here. So let's say we closed here, okay, but the next day we end up being somewhere up here. All of a sudden we drop, so we think to ourselves, oh man, the weekly was broken and we're now breaking on down. You're panicking and it does all this shit, right? But maybe that could have been on a Monday through a Wednesday. That little shooting, it shot up, all of a sudden it dropped, and you're thinking and it went below a monthly, and you're thinking, damn, that's the end of it. The market's going down, so and so, or whatever, whatnot. But here comes Thursday and Friday. Thursday stops here, and then here comes Friday. We get like 3 or 4 data together or separated, shoots us back again, and we close Friday here. And since you're not seeing the box and all that shit in the lines, and the data's coming out the next week, you're not really seeing, oh, it's gonna go for this move, and then we're in between these two weeklies, and we're gonna end up shooting above that because. So my brain does that as it's seeing all this, as it's seeing these boxes break into its boxes, what data's coming out the next day, what time the data's coming out, and then in between these times, in between these 4 candles especially, and there's a weak point where the market will start off good. It'll retrace, for example, here, right here, will start good, retrace on down, but at some point it reverses and it does the actual move. What it did right here in the weekly, it does the same thing on the smaller time frames. Well, you think, okay, it's the end. We broke a monthly, and we closed. Let's say if this 4 candle, we're gonna close at 2 in the morning, if we reopen right now. So let's say right here, and normally the time, the halfway point between 10 o'clock and 2 in the morning is 11:45 to 12:30. So around that time, that's when you gotta pay attention to the market. Let's say we could be falling here. It could be 10. And then we go 10, 30, 10:45, and we chill here. And then once we come to 11:15, 11:30, you start seeing some sort of this. In here, then we have 11:45, 12:30, and you're like, oh shit, we're about to, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's 2 in the morning when we came back up to where we were. And this box helped, or let's say there was a box right here like this. Because if this box would have been up here, and at some point it was, see? So you could have been thinking, okay, we're gonna go up, but you also gotta think about Thursday and Friday, and then we'll bring it back down close. So, anyways, right now it's more complicated because I can't show you the data that's gonna be released for that week or that was being released for that week. So as these videos progress, I'm gonna explain to you guys, hey, look, that's what I'm trying to do every night. A night before the data comes out, I'll show you guys, hey, we're inside this box. We need to hold this box above these lines between 11:45 12:30. If they're not still there, they're gonna start breaking them down, and then from there, we're gonna then start testing the lower prices. Data comes out at 5:30, so we're gonna create support right here. Come back down here, bullshit. 3 or 4, you start seeing picking it up, and blah 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 blah. That's how I'll start explaining on my videos. But for right now, I just want to show you guys what these lines and boxes mean. And as these candles get smaller, so does the boxes. For example, there's another box right here. So I know that there's another important breakout area right here. And this on the weekly. So this we got your 2 resistance, your two candles for resistance, your 1 for support, and then from there you know that, hey, there's just like this week, hey, there's still 1 more month for the week. So even though we're dropping, you never know, on this we could have been falling, but then Friday we got good news and closed here, and now we're about the monthly. So you're like, oh shit, we're about the monthly, we're back in the box, we're gonna complete the box pattern, which is green, red, green, and we're gonna blast off, because then from there we're gonna go inside, be right here in the weekly, and then we're gonna have good news, and we can issue, so my mind starts breaking all this down. And then once you go on your dailies, it would have helped you out, because then you would have dissected this. For orange, see right here, you know your heart area pass is centered right here, really. Right here, you notice these. So notice these two closing area. So that area right there to right here. And I put green, and then the outside gonna be orange. So I know when we get back in here, it's like, oh shit, we're about to make the move. This is our last resistance area. So once we shoot this, it's gonna be a hard move or a move that's gonna break this and close here. And then on the last 12 hours of the day, 4 candles of the day, shoot above, close up for the week. And here's another box, but again, in a smaller time frame now. Not perfect, but you could tell it's a box right there. So notice how, anyways, you got your 2 resistance, your 2 support. You box it up. And there you go. As it's falling down, you then pay attention to what day, how many days we have left. For example, this was Monday. For example, we close here on Wednesday, Friday, right? So then if we close here Friday, so that means there's a strong floor. So then I would then wait to see how the market would open. Normally in the weekend, the market has bad news, or it could have bad news, and the market just starts sinking, closing down here, whatnot. So Sunday, you want to see how it opens. You want to let it breathe. So let's say this was Friday. We will go into a 4 candles. Friday. Friday. So this Friday, and look how we open Sunday. This right here to me, it wasn't oh shit, the market had bad news. Nope, that's nothing. The market having bad news would have been something like this. If the market would have opened and we would have seen this shit breakdown right here, and then all of a sudden close here and just keep going down bullshit here in this region. The fact that it just did this and went back in here within 12 hours would have been all, we're Gucci. We're Gucci. Especially because Sunday, Monday, especially if we close Monday like this, if it was bad news, we would have broken this area down and been down here really. But you also gotta see what data were coming out, because the market could just be anticipating a data on Thursday. So if you're seeing this open up, you're like, oh shit, bad. But hey, the market is really waiting for this move right here, or the market is really waiting for this move right here on Tuesday. But just because you open like this, you're thinking, oh shit. But you know, you're not seeing, hey, look, tomorrow we got data at 5 in the morning, at 6 in the morning, actually, probably at 5:30. The market reacted good to it. And once the market opened, so look, we most likely had data at 7. You can see the market was waiting for it right here. Otherwise, it could have broken down any of these fucking times. But as the data came out, anticipating it, got it back, the ball rolling, got it back into the. All this was telling you, hey, there's a move coming. There's a move coming, especially. Like notice how they lined help you out. Notice how these candles are supporting. Why? Because they're waiting for a big move, big data. And then this right here, this is what you want, where the night before. Okay, so let's say tomorrow's there's data coming out. We're about the same time right here, 12 and 1 in the morning. I know that there's first of all, I'm gonna see where my resistance at right here. And let me go to the higher ones. So let's say I'm gonna put one here into another box. See? So let me put another box right here. Total candle right here. And that's why I hate when I get to small time frames. So you just say the vegetable, this area now is gonna act the same as the other ones. It's got these boxes. When you shoot above them or below them, they tend to, if you're coming up, they tend to act like resistance area. When they're coming down, it acts like a support. Especially, so just see that box as that. So same here. So this candle came down close here, so now you can now then make a little area right here. Because what's happening is this candle is acting like a support this region right here. Even though it's not doing that, that's how my brain is analyzing this and putting this together. So then I would then know that to pay attention to this area right here in the smaller time frame, because we're in the 12-hour candles. So I know that once we get back inside this area, we're gonna continue to wind up, especially with what data's coming out. So then I will do 4 candles is red. So this tell me that we're stopping right here, and then we're waiting for some important data right here. So then I will go to 1-hour candle. So let's see what time it is. See, so we had, let's say we had data here at 5:30 or at 6. It was bad. you're seeing this, and you're thinking, especially this, you're seeing this. Oh shit, we broke a weekly. It was a bad data. I'm gonna go for a sell, especially at the lever trader. But then you didn't know that there was also data at 7. The data the market ends up buying all this, waiting for the next data, and then the data comes out good, shoots all the way above this, and it ends up shooting above your 12-hour candle box. At the same time, you end up finding out that it ends up closing here at that will be at 2 p.m. Oh, 2 p.m. from right here. Okay, gotcha. So you see how even right here, these 100 candles. So as I'm seeing this, right, you shoot above the 12-hour candle. On top of that, I notice right here that we're up to this price came up, and there's a little support here. So there's a price that we wanted to continue on up. So I shut up and started doing that too. That would have been my next buying area. On top of that, because it's also important the time. So see, the time, the weak. Remember about the weak spots? Those weak spots happening between the forward candle. This forward candle is from 6 to 10 p.m. So that means halfway there is when the market is gonna end up reversing or correcting itself and go with that show move that's gonna do. That time is normally 7:45 to 8:30. 8:30, 8:45, the latest type of shit. So yeah, we go up and we go, oh, the market's gonna go up. It was good news. But all of a sudden you start seeing this. Traders that are barely starting, they're saying, oh, it's a fake out. Oh, it was actually bad news. I'm gonna go for a sell right now. And then you're not seeing this. You're not visually seeing all these boxes, all these lines, because you're just maybe putting one or two of, because that's how they taught you, whatnot, or maybe using other indicators, and you see there's a support down here, and it's not getting there, or whatever. You have your own ideas. Everybody has their own ideas when it comes to the stock market. You'll find out about that shit. Everybody has their own point of view of why the market is doing so and so, whatnot. So anyways, so you're panicking, and then here comes that sweet spot, 7:45 to 8:30. You go to the 15-minute candle. Where the fuck is it? Eight thirty, we go the opposite. So even though the data came out and reacted to it, there was no data up here. But then the market ended up doing this, and you're not really connecting. On top of that, there's another one right here. So both of these white lines could indicate to you, okay, I hit my first resistance. It's coming down to the next one. If it holds here, plus the time that it is, we're gonna reverse because we're getting closer to the 10 o'clock to close. Cut from 7 to what did I know, from 6 to 10. So 10 o'clock is you time, as we close it to it, you want to make your move before it closes. So you want to shake people off. Just like, you want to shake people off. So that's your one time. That way you shake them off and you continue going on with your move. That's the way my brain sees it. That's the way I interpret all this. But yeah, that's somewhat of how I break down the market. I end up breaking down, so I end up stopping with 12, which was 12-hour candle, is yellow. But as I go down, because there's really more than important ones that I go back to and really check, um, to see like where we are, where we're gonna end up stopping if we do go down, where we're gonna end up stopping if we are going up right now. Do we have a weekly, a monthly, a daily higher than what we are right now? Therefore, if we get good news, I know where it's gonna end up stopping, and is there any boxes in the price that's gonna end up moving above it or below it, so I know if it gets inside there, and also depending what time. Anyways, all this shit my brain is fucking taking in or analyzing. And then this one will be and then right here you have another box. So as the markets go inside those prices, you can then know, okay, it's gonna get stuck here, it's gonna pass it, or it passes here. And I don't have all these boxes in my other one, but it's just me explaining what or whatnot, or trying to explain how my brain would see it. For example, right here, I know that these lines are really fucking shit. These are your point ones, these. This one, this one. Cause your point ones are these three, your strong ones. So once we get in here, in the 12-hour candle, it's more confusing right now because these lines have passed and moved already, and the data has already passed and moved, that I can't really say why I went in, why I went out, and this is that. But I wanted to give you a little more insight of what these lines mean, and why the different colors, why there's so many boxes. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but when boxes, the outside line represents what time frame I made it on. So this one right here was made in a daily. So if I go to a daily, it's from here. That's what the resistance at. So in case it comes back down, and then I'll fucking make another box right here from right here to here, and then even though you have all these boxes, somehow my brain ends up somehow ignoring them and focus on what I'm currently on right now, or on the current hour. So yeah, it's I know it's complicated, but as you watch my videos and I end up explaining to you with the actual data and where it's gonna close, why it's gonna close, and how I see it, and then I will make this maybe yellow. That way I know if the market is coming down. If the market, let's say right here, if the market is coming down, I know that holding this box will be your green light, going on up. Or if I expect the market to go on up, this will be my indicator. Hey, there's a strong support right here. So if this market is coming down, if we end up closing inside this box, it's more of a green light. If we end up closing in here, it's a hella green light. So as you go to your 4 candles, and depending on data's coming out, you will see, holy shit, well, that was too quick. So let me go down to a 1-hour candle. So you will see this. First of all, you would have seen, oh shit, it's actually respecting the weekly and the box. And then that 7 o'clock data comes out, and you're like, so all this is green light to you. All this is green light to you. It's just a matter of fact of watching it and being there, whatnot. But anyways, that's all for all you guys. I don't want to make this video too quick. I already know. I already went over this stuff plenty of times. If you have any questions, let me know. Later on, I'll do more explanations on all these boxes, but that's kind of the idea of what these boxes mean. The outer color and the inner color is just to separate them from one another since they're so close and they interact with one another and intersect with one another. Alright, I'm out.